For these questions, we're going to simplify the fraction. Simplify means to make an equivalent fraction, but one that's made of a numerator and a denominator that are smaller digits than the original ones. So we're going to do this by halving or cutting in half the denominator. And remember, the denominator is just the bottom number of a fraction, and it represents the total number of parts in one whole. So let's look at number 1. We have 2/6. Well, if we halved 6, we would have 3. So in the first blue model, you see 2 out of 6. In the second model, we've halved 6 into 3, so we have 3 pieces. But notice now we only have 1 shaded piece, because 1 shaded piece out of 3 is equal to 2 shaded pieces out of 6. So notice that if we halve the denominator, we also have to halve the numerator. Just like we did when we were making equivalent fractions, when we doubled the denominator and then we doubled the numerator, well, when you halve them, you have to do both as well. So let's look at number 4. On number 4, we have 6/8. So right now we have 6 out of 8 pieces. If we were to halve the denominator, 8, we would have 4 pieces. So the brown model shows 6 out of 8, and the yellow model is showing 4 pieces. But notice there are only 3 out of those 4 pieces shaded. So if we halve the denominator, we also have to halve the numerator. So we have 3/4. So 3/4 is simplified version of 6/8. So let's look at number 2. Here we have 16/20. So if we halve the denominator, we also must halve the numerator. So 8/10 is a simplified version of 16/20. So let's try 4/6. That would be half of 6 is 3 and half of 4 is 2. So 2/3 is a simplified version of 4/6. Still equivalent, it's just made with smaller digits, and it's easier to understand. On 4/12, we would end up with 2/6. The purpose of simplifying fractions is to make numbers that are easier to visualize and easier to understand. In your head, you can probably picture smaller fractions like 1/2 or 1/3 or 2/3. But it's hard to visualize fractions made with larger digits like 16/20. So when you simplify them, you make them easier to understand. All right, you try some on your own, and if you need help, you can come back and rewatch the video.